So SugarSync is a product. It's available at www.sugarsync.com. And the idea is that people have lots of devices, they're creating a lot of media on all these devices, and hardly anyone backs up their computers. It's really hard to make these devices talk to each other. Even though all these devices are connected, they don't really talk to each other in a way that makes sense. My only device I have with me wherever I go is my phone. And if I want to access a file that's on my computer or on my phone, I have to really think about copying it to SD cards or sync cables, and it's just not a good experience. And so we started the company 4 years ago with kind of the insight that in a multi-device world, synchronization is a very important piece, and you can use synchronization as a means to deliver backup and remote access and mobile access and a whole variety of use cases.
So, how did you get the idea for this? What was the problem?
Yeah, so the way we approached the problem was that people have talked about this notion of anytime, anywhere access to all your stuff forever, right? I mean, you read so many articles about it, but none of the experiences have caught people's imagination. So when we did the solution, what we did is we looked at how in any market where a solution has worked, right? So we looked at corporate email was the only place where we felt like a cross-device experience works really well.
So you're talking about Microsoft Exchange, of course.
Right, and BlackBerry,
right.
Right? So I can use Outlook on my PC, I can use Outlook web access through any web browser, my BlackBerry's Outlook in my pocket. And I don't think about sync, I don't think about, how did my email get there? It just happens. It's kind of like magic. And so we said, hey, there is a successful metaphor that works for one specific type of data. Now, how can we extend that to all types of data? So that's how we kind of got the idea.
And so what's different about your service compared to all these other services where you can upload, a good chunk of data? You can do this in a number of different ways, of course, using Google services. You can buy your own server, et cetera, et cetera. What's different about SugarSync?
I think mainly it's a simplicity and not making users think about this thing in advance, right? So I saw a research from IDC that said that less than 5% of the digital photos that people take actually get uploaded to an online photo sharing site, right? Like a Snapfish or a Flickr or something, right? Because most people hardly have online backup of their data because they have to think, and it's a chore to upload all this data and so on. And home servers and things like that are beyond the reach of the average consumer. So how can you build an experience that is kind of a set it and forget it type of experience? And so the time, when you're looking for an important file from your phone, the file's already there here, right? And all you did originally was what you always do, which is create the file on your PC and not worry about how it got to your phone or how it got to the web or whatever. It just happens in the background. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons why SugarSync is compelling. It's a very good user experience. The other reason is there are too many siloed solutions today, right? So I have a backup service that I could go and sign up for one of these backup services and it'll back up everything that's on my computer to the cloud. But if I want to go share a photo, then I have to go re-upload those photos to a different service, right? Or I have a service that does my photos online. But if I want that for music of my documents, well, I have to go find another service, right? Or mobile. Most services don't have a mobile component. So we have a comprehensive solution that really solves a lot of problems in a very simple way.
Now, why is this service happening now? I mean, what's going on in the marketplace that people need this? I mean, a few years ago, you were lucky to have a mobile device.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of macro things that have happened. Broadband adoption, online storage costs really coming down, and just even wireless data networks becoming fast enough, and the device capabilities. I mean, this is an antique phone, right? But like you have iPhone, really devices that are real computers, and even your tiny Razr phone, is quite powerful these days, right? So I think so the device is there, the network is there, the storage cost is economical. So I think those are some of the main bigger components what has happened. So before those things were there, people had to really make compromises. So people would say, well, it's really uneconomical for everything to be stored in a central server, so let's do a peer-to-peer sync solution. Well, if I want a peer-to-peer sync solution, then I need to leave both computers online, and or all these kinds of things, right? So now you can deliver a valuable experience that is simple with no caveats in an economic manner.
So with SugarSync, can you upload your entire contents, and what kind of limitations do you have on that?
We put, so you can get any type of subscription, and you can get different storage levels based on how much media you have. And one of the advantages versus traditional backup services is that if you have multiple computers, you can just use the same subscription and your quota on multiple computers. Whereas if I had a traditional backup service, if I have two computers, I need to buy two subscriptions, right? So you don't need to do that. So we sell subscription plans from 10 gigs, for the entry-level person, and that's $25 a year, 5 lattes, to 250 gigs of storage, and for about $20 a month, roughly. And so which is a wide variety. We support everyone. I mean, most people we're seeing are in kind of the sweet spot is kind of 30 to 60 gigs of stuff is what they're putting online. But I think across the base, I mean, there are lots of people who are putting 250 gigs in there. And for that median user, the price point is $50 a year or to $100 a year, which is really affordable for something that really gives them so much power.